Hey Star Wars fans, today we're diving deep into the dark side with a character that's as twisted as they come, Darth Momin. This Sith artist has a backstory that's as intriguing as his creepy mask, from his crazy obsession with power to his knack for turning the macabre into art. Momin's journey through the Star Wars universe is one wild ride, but it's not all about his dark, artsy side. Momin also packs a serious punch in the Force department. We're talking about some seriously next-level powers that make even the most seasoned Jedi break a sweat. And the highlight of it all, the epic showdown between Darth Momin and Darth Vader, the big bad boy himself. We're talking lightsabers clashing and Force powers going haywire. It's a Sith showdown for the ages. So buckle up, folks, because we're about to unravel the twisted tale of Darth Momin. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Sith Lord Darth Momin's dual mastery as a dark side scholar and sculptor. Come check this out. We're talking about Darth Momin, the Sith Lord with a twisted side hustle in art. Back in the day, he wasn't just dabbling in the Force. He was practically using it to run his own horror show. Picture this. He gets his hands on the family pet Ratacat, Flitta, and turns it into a sculpture made of flesh, bones, and all the other creepy stuff. His mom walks in, and bam, horror movie scene right there. But that doesn't stop him. Momin goes full-on weird mode, using animal skulls and other downright disturbing materials for his so-called art. People see his stuff, and instead of applause, they're throwing him in a cell. Yeah, he ultimately gets imprisoned for his disturbing creations. That's a classic move for a misunderstood young artist, right? Wrong. Here's where it gets wild. Along comes Sith Lady Darth Shah, swooping in to rescue this Force-fueled sculptor from art jail. And you'd think that's a happy ending, but no. This dude's journey is just getting started. So, after his artsy stint behind bars, Momin's name gets like intergalactic fame, and in walks Sith Lady Darth Shah, who's apparently a fan or just really into recruiting disturbed artists. She busts him out and slaps on the apprentice tag, teaching him everything he needs to know about the dark side. But here's the kicker. Momin, who is not a fan of playing second fiddle, starts feeling the Sith apprentice life is not his cup of tea. Enter lightsabers. The dude gets a pair, not for some epic battles, but to craft his own face mask. Yeah, you heard it right. He sculpts a mask out of his own disfigured face. Talk about dedication to the dark side aesthetic. He gets the Darth title under his new Sith mentorship, but the other Sith guys are not vibing with his ideas. They decide to hit the delete button on his chapter in Sith history. But by now, Momin, feeling like the mighty dark side master he thinks he is, pulls a dramatic move. He kills Shah, publicly announcing that he's piecing out of the whole Sith apprentice thing. He wants to dive deep into the dark side lore solo. And that, dear friends, is how you go from artsy prisoner to Sith solo explorer. Darth Momin activates his ultimate super weapons. So, now that Darth Momin's flying solo without a master, he's on a dark side road trip, hitting up all the shady spots in the galaxy. There are no apprentices for this guy. He's too cool to be called a master, and finds it offensive to be called by any such title. Instead, he's got this grand vision of creating the ultimate dark side masterpiece. Enter the Fermata Cage, Momin's brainchild that's like a timeout zone on steroids. This thing can freeze anything or anyone in a single moment. A real time-stopping party trick. Need a break from the chaos? Boom. The Fermata Cage's got your back. And get this, it's not just a prison, it's a reset button. Release the prisoners, and it's like time never passed. Dark side artistry meets time travel. Momin's really pushing the boundaries here. So picture this. Darth Momin's on another cosmic brainstorm session, chatting up the Force like it's his creative advisor. And guess what the Force suggests? Build a weapon and pick a city. Pretty chill, right? Wrong. So armed with Shah's leftovers and a bunch of eager acolytes, Momin designs this mega weapon, ready to wipe a whole city off the map. But here's the kicker. He's not just into destruction. He wants to freeze that moment of terror forever. So, he plans to infuse the Force into his doomsday engine, slowing down time and trapping all the horrified expressions of the citizens of the city. Darkseid meets Twisted Art Project in the worst possible way. But, oh snap, the Jedi catch wind of his evil plan. They crash the party just as Momin hits the ignition button. The light side messes with his vibe and boom, Momin's gone, disintegrating into oblivion. All that's left is his creepy mask, which apparently still holds on to his ghostly spirit. Talk about a dark side DIY gone wrong. The resurrection of Darth Momin. Alright, so we already know that Momin was basically considered the black sheep of the Sith family. The big shots deemed him a heretic, probably because his dark side game was too wild, even for them. They went all cover-up mode, keeping his Force tricks a secret sauce after his apparent death. No shoutouts in Jedi or Sith documentation. This guy's like the Voldemort of the Force. Fast forward years after Momin bit the dust, everyone thought his crazy art and teachings were gone with him. But surprise, surprise, his spooky mask, still holding on to his ghostly vibes, ended up in a secret stash at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. Cue Darth Vader sniffing around. Finding out about this hidden vault, he spills the beans to his boss, Darth Sidious, and bam, the mask becomes part of Sidious's Sith artifact collection. But here's the twist. When Sidious gives the mask a once-over, Momin's ghost spills the dark side beans on his whole past. Talk about a spooky Sith artifact with a gossipy side hustle. Okay, so Sidious then decides to give Vader's Momin's spooky mask, thinking it'll be like a dark side GPS for his studies on Mustafar. Vader's all in on the mission, bringing along the chief architect and her sidekick to whip up a Sith-worthy man cave. But here's where it gets wild. The mask decides to possess the aide, Lieutenant Rago, turning him into Momin's ghostly puppet architect. Vader catches wind of this supernatural design team-up and walks in on Momin's fortress design masterpiece. Not impressed, he murders Rago, taking the mask to a Sith cave on Mustafar. Now, here's where it gets trippy. Vader reaches into the mask with the Force, and Momin's ghost spills his life story to him, too. Such a creepy ghost move, right? But hold up, it's not over. Vader, on his way out, bumps into some locals, so he pulls a Sith mind trick, using the mask to possess one of the Mustafarians. Momin's now back in business with a fresh body. He spills the beans about the fortress he has designed, claiming it's like a dark side door opener. And get this, he tells Vader he'll find his dead lover, Padme, in there. Vader's skeptical and does the whole Force choke thing, but Momin swears he's not lying. Vader, being the overly trusting Sith he is, lets Momin go ahead with the fortress plans, but he makes it clear, betray him and it's lightsaber time. Such a Vader thing to do, right? So, Vader's all pumped about this fortress on Mustafar, and Momin's got the whole design plotted and planned out. Thanks to Imperial muscle and resources, the thing gets built in no time. But surprise, surprise, when Vader tries to pop the dark side door open, it's a total flop show. The fortress is wrecked, and their dreams are shattered. They give it another go, and another, but no luck. Momin's blaming it on too many focusing spires, saying it's like trying to control a dark side energy tornado or something. Vader's not having it though. He's all about results, and Momin's failures cost his Mustafarian host his life. Talk about a harsh performance review. Now, here's where it gets wild. Momin's ghostly self hops into a stormtrooper next, and suddenly, he's the boss again. He promises Vader that the next fortress design will be the real thing, and orders the cleanup of the wreckage. But Vader's struggle to crack the dark side door, it's messing with Mustafar big time, causing lava storms and unleashing lava fleas on the construction site. And here's the kicker. Momin's convinced that these tiny lava bugs are out to sabotage his vision. Quite a strange bunch of problems, right? Momin's like the architect who just can't catch a break. He cranks out his sixth fortress and swears it's the golden ticket, but no, it's another epic fail. Vader's had enough, kills the stormtrooper host, and now Momin's hitching a ride on an Imperial officer. Talk about a revolving door of hosts. Now here's the comedy, the seventh design. Yeah, you guessed it, another flop. Vader's patience is wearing thin, so he swaps the officer for a lava flea. Picture that, a Sith Lord dealing with tiny lava bugs. The thought just tickles you, doesn't it? But Momin's not giving up. He's all excited about the eighth design, but Vader's not feeling it. Another fail, another host down. This time, it's a construction worker's turn to be Momin's puppet. Now, hold on to your seats, because Momin has big dreams for its ninth design. Vader's reluctantly on board, saying it better be the last one. But once it's done, Vader's feeling some serious Force vibes in the Sith Cave's focusing chamber. He's doing his Sith door opening thing when, bam, the garrison commander interrupts with news of an attack. Vader's got to dash and handle business. He has dark side door problems right when things are getting interesting. Okay, plot twist time. So, Momin, the master of failed fortress designs, decides to go full-on Sith betrayal mode. He hijacks Vader's Force channeling gig and starts doing it himself. Vader's outside, dealing with the attack, when suddenly, zap, lightning bolt out of nowhere. It turns out Momin's been cooking up some dark side magic, and he wanted to swing open the door to the dark side for his own secretive needs. Lo and behold, his original body's just chilling there, ready for a reunion. He throws on the mask, takes out his poor host like it's nothing, and boom, Momin's back in business, both in the physical and spiritual realms. Talk about a dark side power move. That too, right when Vader thought he had this whole fortress thing under control. Classic Sith shenanigans. Fateful confrontation. Darth Vader's gripping encounter with Darth Momin. So, after Vader barely survives the Mustafarian beatdown, he crawls back to the chamber where Momin's now lurking. The guy's been MIA, letting Vader deal with the mess outside. Now, all banged up, and probably regretting his life choices, Vader uses the Force to crush the invading army. That's when Momin finally shows his face, calling out Vader for trying to be Mr. Darkseid control freak, instead of just serving it with all his might. To be fair, it's a classic Sith move, right? Vader's out there doing the heavy lifting, and Momin's playing the puppet master, giving him grief for not playing the dark side game right. Dark side drama, the gift that keeps on giving. And now that Momin's finally back, he's not exactly thrilled with the state of Sith affairs. He's of the opinion that Vader is very weak, throwing shade at how Sith power has apparently gone downhill since he kicked the bucket. They start dueling, and Vader's taking a beating. Like seriously. Momin's slicing and dicing, and eventually, he hacks off Vader's sword arm. Talk about a rough day for the Dark Lord. But here's where it gets interesting. Vader's all calm, cool, and collected. He straight up asks Momin if he lied to him about what opening the dark side portal would do. Momin then vehemently claims that he didn't lie, but he believes that Vader is too weak and impure for the whole dark side thing. Vader's satisfied with the confirmation and decides it's time to show Momin who's boss. Using the Force, Vader slams a massive stone slab into Momin, who's trying to be all dramatic about how the dark side loves him and won't let him die. Vader's having none of it, saying if that were true, then Momin's got a ticket to live. But in the end, Vader's power squashes Momin like a bug against the cave wall. It's dark side drama at its finest, with Vader proving once again that he's not one to be messed with. Is he more powerful than Darth Vader? So, here's the lowdown on Momin. This guy is like the odd one out in the Sith Club. Unlike the usual Sith, who are all about wrecking things for power, Momin is more into creating stuff and nerding out on intellectual and artistic pursuits. He has this whole philosophy that if his creations don't evoke some serious feelings, then he has basically made zilch. Lady Shaw starts training him in the dark side, but when she bites the dust, Momin goes into independent scholar mode. He is on a quest to unlock the mysteries of the dark side, thinking ordinary folks just can't get his artsy vibes. The Force, though, that is his jam, his one actual audience. See, Momin has this grand idea that if he serves the dark side, it's like his VIP ticket to immortality. He'll live forever. Talk about a Sith with a flair for the dramatic, right? We all know by now that Momin is a sculptor with a twisted sense of art that gave everyone the creeps. But we have to admit, the guy is a sculpting genius, like nobody else can match his skills. Now, when it comes to throwing down, Momin got his combat chops from Shaw, the dark side sensei. She taught him the lightsaber dance and all the dark side tricks. But Momin, being Momin, he has taken it to a whole new level, coming up with Force moves that no one else dares to copy. So, after he kills his master, Momin goes solo on the dark side studies. The guy's like a Sith scholar on steroids, uncovering secrets that let him craft a super weapon. And get this, he plans to use his own version of Force lightning to freeze a whole city in time, trapping everyone in a forever horror show. Fast forward to Momin's demise, his spirit ends up stuck in his mask, becoming the ultimate Sith ghost. Now, he's in the possession game, jumping into unsuspecting folks. Talk about leaving a dark side legacy, right? Now, when Momin and Vader first chatted, he pulled a mind trick that almost made Vader slap on Momin's own mask. Talk about a creepy power move. Now, let's break down who we think would win between them. Momin's got some serious skills. To be fair, the guy designed a super weapon, pulled off mind tricks on Vader, and even came back from the dead. In their lightsaber duel, he chopped off Vader's arm like it's nothing. So, on paper, Momin seems like a force to be reckoned with, but here's the catch. Vader's no slouch either. Sure, Momin got the upper hand in their duel, but Vader's already been through the ringer battling Mustafarians, and he's got the whole force thing down to an art. In the end, Vader's the one who takes Momin out in their final showdown. So, power-wise, it's a bit like comparing apples and oranges. Momin's got his own bag of tricks, but Vader's the OG Sith Lord who knows how to bring the pain. It's more about the circumstances and who's got the upper hand at the moment, just like any other Star Wars duel, you know? Marvelous verdict. Alright, Star Wars fam, that wraps up the wild tale of Darth Momin, the Sith sculptor with a dark side flair, from his twisted art projects to his unique Force moves. This guy is like the Picasso of the Sith world. But the real kicker, his showdown with the legend himself, Darth Vader, that we have just explored in detail. So, there you have it, the rise, fall, and lightsaber clash of Darth Momin in a galaxy far, far away. Stay tuned for more Star Wars lore, and may the Force be with you. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.